Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So on the channel, we've established the fact that there will be no Windows 12 for now, possibly in 2027, although Microsoft hasn't officially confirmed that. And as I mentioned in that video regarding no Windows 12 for now, which will be linked down below and in the end screen, Microsoft's focus is on migrating Windows 10 users now over to Windows 11 and pushing people onto Copilot Plus PCs, like it or hate it, as you may well know. Now check the video out for more info. Now in regards to Windows 12, in the comments on a daily basis, I see numerous comments by viewers who say they switch into Linux basically because of the state that they found Windows 11 in and where Microsoft finds themselves at. Now I thought this would be a good time just to throw something out there and basically say, would you switch back if Microsoft made a couple of improvements to Windows 12, if and when it ever rolled out, that they are not undertaking in Windows 11 or not featuring in Windows 11? So basically, would these features in Windows 12 make you switch back from Linux back into the Windows OS? Now, this is in no particular order. Now, I think one of the biggest reasons why users are saying they are switching to Linux is because of the privacy problem we find ourselves currently with Windows 11. Now, as you may well know, Windows 11 has a lot of telemetry, the so-called phone in home, that's packed into it, be that settings that are turned on by default or even just telemetry taking place under the hood. And I think if Windows 12 wants to get more users back into the Windows operating system and onto Windows, I think Microsoft has to focus on the privacy conscious users. And it also needs an option to turn all of that off. Not we get a couple of options in the year, and then we get a couple of options in the next category, and then the next category, and so on. I think Microsoft needs to have a dedicated section in the settings that basically is a one-off toggle that can turn all the privacy telemetry or the phone in home, turn that off in the operating system. And I think that will be at least a move in the right direction to get users back onto the Windows operating system. Then another thing is customization. And as you may well know, when Microsoft rolled out Windows 11, they removed the option to just a basic option that's available in Windows 10 to move the taskbar to the left, right, or to the top, which isn't available. And Microsoft said the reason they are not bringing that option into Windows 11 is because of the current state of the start menu. It won't work. It's pretty static. Okay. So I think customization, like moving the taskbar around, and then the option to give you classic start menu styles back in the actual start menu. I mean, simple things like just resizing the start menu or removing this recommended section, little simple things like that. Just general customization options in general that currently are not available in Windows 11. I think that would be a nice move because, as you may well know, Linux lets you tweak almost everything in the operating system. And if Windows 12 wants to compete, I think the OS should give users complete control over the user interface. Okay. Now, I know some of these may sound like a pipe dream, but these are just my thoughts. So hang in there. And then something else is they need to get rid of the bloat. Windows 11, when you do a clean install, now I'm not talking about Tiny 11 and stuff like that. I'm talking about the default Windows 11 is packed with unnecessary bloat. So it's filled with unnecessary apps. Now I've removed most of that. Ads in the start menu, and just to get to that, here's an ad right in the start menu, as we have spoken about on the channel. So ads in the start menu and background processes. So if we head to Task Manager, my general memory usage, and I've got my systems very similar between 10 and 11, and they've got the exact same amount of memory. The background processes running in Windows 11 far outnumber those in Windows 10, in my personal opinion. And those background processes that keep running in the background, now obviously my memory is quite high at the moment because I'm running a real-time video recording, and I've got a couple of other things open. And the background processes, as you may well know, they are responsible for sluggishness and high RAM usage, and they eat up your system resources. And as you may well know, you can install Linux distros like Mint, Zorin OS, Linux Lite, Ubuntu on low budget machines, unlike the way Microsoft is heading now, where you've got to have Copilot Plus PCs with neural processing units and so on. So I think Windows 12 at least needs to have a version of Windows 12 or an edition of Windows 12 that is a minimal install and gives you a minimal installation, or at least in the installation process of Windows 12, give you the option to bring it to a more minimal state and, a kind of a more lightweight operating system. And then another big one, especially for me, and I see this quite a lot in the comments, is that, and this is the last one we're going to talk about. There are other things, but these are just a couple of main points I've pulled out, which I do see in the comments. Another big one, I think, is Microsoft needs to start testing its updates before just pushing them out to the general public, because especially with Windows 11 24H2, I think it was a very hurried up release of the operating system when it comes to an annual feature update. And because of this, me personally and a lot of others are suffering on a day-to-day basis with bugs and glitches and issues in Windows 11 24H2. So I think Microsoft needs to start testing its updates a lot more before it pushes it out to the general public, because these days when we get updates, which are normally on the second Tuesday of the month and in the last week of the month, they are bricking machines and they are causing numerous issues. And with every update, I'm almost reporting on an issue that has been caused by an update. So you need an update to fix an update. And I think people are getting annoyed with that. And I think if Microsoft starts stabilizing its updates, I think that'll be another main reason to bring so-called, I've switched to Linux, switching back to Windows. So with Windows 12, it's still possibly a good couple of years away, as we have spoken about. Go check that video. And I think Microsoft has a good amount of time to try and make some meaningful improvements to the OS if they start listening to their users. I don't think Microsoft is really in touch with their actual users who are actually using the operating system. And with these things I've mentioned in the video today, make you consider switching back when Windows 12 rolls out. I'll be very interested to know your thoughts in the comments. Please give us constructive comments. I'll be interested to hear what you've got to say. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.